And we're live and back at you. Welcome, 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 and happy new year to all of our friends, all of our supporters out there, in the US and abroad, especially out there in Africa, as we are once again Africans Talk Football. How are you boys doing tonight?
Been
Pretty
better,
good,
man.
man. How
Pretty
about
good.
you?
Good man. Good man. First episode of 2024. It's kind of crazy to think we've been like, what's this, our third official year? Or I guess technically our fourth official year doing
Yeah.
it at, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, happy new year to all of you out there, whether you're watching this live right now via YouTube or whether you're going to catch this, in the following days. I hope everyone out there had a safe and enjoyable new year. It's kind of crazy being in, Ohio for the first time in a long time. It didn't snow, it rained a little bit, but the weather was actually decent. How about you down there in Southern Ohio, Salah?
I actually had the fortunate pleasure of spending Christmas in North Carolina, where it
Ooh,
was
okay.
70
It was
degrees.
warm.
I was in a t-shirt and some shorts. So I very warm Christmas. Definitely one to remember for sure.
Nice. Love that. Love that. Yeah, man, like I've been saying, as honestly, we've been saying for the last few weeks, this December, January time is always it's always a very, very busy time, especially when it comes to the Premier League. And then with this year, with having Christmas and New Year's on a Monday, I feel like Boxing Day felt a little, there was no Monday scaries. You were able to wake up on that Monday, hopefully not hungover, and enjoy all the football that we were able to enjoy this year. Um, and kind of just want to get right into it because we have a few games to touch on, especially for each of our teams. So the last time we touched base, it was right after Rasmus Hoyland got his first Premier League goal with a 3-2 win over to Aston Villa at home. I feel like everybody was in good spirits. Definitely how you want to end the year. And then, you know, right at the beginning of or right at the end of 2023, they saw Forest at home, and it seems like United can't just get 2-3 wins in a row this year. It's, you move forward 3 steps and then back 5 steps. You move forward 2 steps and then back 3 steps. Um, and I was actually able to watch this game, and shout out to Rashford for getting, one of the first goals in a long time. I think he's sitting on 3 goals this year, 4 in the Prem. But Gibbs White with an equalizer, or with the game winning goal at the 82nd minute. It felt like Nottingham Forest always was going to get that winning goal, in my opinion. Salam, were you able to watch the match, and did it just tell more of the same this year, or?
Yeah. I mean, of course I watched. And I wasn't I wasn't surprised. Another disappointing performance from a team that we should be beating, regardless of if we're away at home or not. I think more or less the performance I saw against Nottingham Forest was the same average performance I saw against Aston Villa, um, West Ham. I know we won that Aston Villa game, but again, it's the two mistakes that hurt us in the first half. West Ham, we were average, and once again, we were average against Nottingham Forest as well too. Hats off to the first person I want to recognize for sure is Anthony Elanga. I thought he had an exceptional game. Definitely, you could see he was up for it and had something to prove. So, shouts off to him. I like Gibbs White. I think Gibbs White could be. Um, I think Gibbs White could be a good squad player in a top four side. I don't know if you're going to win with him in the lineup. Um, if he's your go-to guy, but I think that there's something. I think he's English too, so I mean, like you know, there's an option there for Southgate or whoever's in charge. But um, when it comes to United, we make a lot of mistakes in the back and we can't score. Two very bad combinations if you're going into a football match. Um, but I think that it's more or less just kind of where we are as a team, consistently inconsistent. Um, I'm hopeful with the return of guys like Lissandro and Casemiro, and hopefully Varane can continue staying healthy and playing. I think those three could make an impact in the second half of the season. But yeah, man, I just don't think that we're that good of a team right now, and more of this is going to continue until we can get different guys in there. I did want to say something before I did want to move on, though. Um,
Mhm.
I'm not Ten Hag out, but I'm Ten Hag. Hmm?
Cautious.
Yeah, not Ten Hag out, but I'm Ten Hag. Hmm? Because I'm looking at some of the decisions that were made. A big, when I look at
He's
that
got
game
to
versus,
answer for him.
when I look at this game versus Nottingham Forest, I look at the decision of taking Kobe Manu off, arguably probably our best midfielder over the past few games. Um, and the fact that you took him off, and you put someone like McTominay in there, someone who has cost us goals, the same type of goals too, the same person who doesn't track his runners. I think that decision was ultimately the decision that hurt us because McTominay got in, we instantly look worse, and we conceded the goal. So you got to question his decision making. Quite frankly, I know that Kobe Mainoo's played a lot, and he's a youth player. But like again, like so, it's important that we manage his minutes. But for me, that's where the game went south, and I just you got to question a lot of his decision making because a lot of what this guy doesn't make sense. Andre Onana is supposed to be leaving for Afcon, and we are begging him to stay so he can play against Tottenham. So for me, that tells me one of two things. One, it just looks very weak on your part as a manager, because it's not like this guy is making world class saves. But I have to ask, how bad is this Bayender guy? This guy from Turkey that you bought? The guy,
Terrible.
you
Because,
know what I'm saying?
woo,
Because the
we'll
fact of
see.
like, if we're begging Andre Onana, Cameroon, to not let him go to the Afcon, for him to play a game against Tottenham, he literally has a game the following day. I just think that it's crazy. I think that again, like you just have to look at the manager and question: is this Turkish guy not good enough? Is he not up to the level that's required? Because why haven't we seen 1 minute of him? Not even in any FA Cup, Carabao Cup, any games where we haven't seen him at all. We've just
That's
let
true.
Andre Onana be in there, and yeah, he hasn't been perfect. But there have been a few times where I thought maybe you take him out and put this new guy in just so that he's not under the fire. But I don't know. Maybe this guy isn't as good, and I wouldn't be surprised considering some of the guys that this manager has brought in the door. So something to think about.
I don't know. I've been saying this for a minute though. His decision. He has blame in this. Like
He
he has a
does,
good amount of blame in this. I don't know. I don't want to say rut, but in this situation that he has in his hands, like he definitely has. He has some blame. So I
but
don't
I
know.
feel him though. But like, how, who else is there to put in? Like, besides, it's easy to say like don't put in McTominay, but I remember I texted you guys, "Wow, look at our bench," and our bench was like it's very bad.
That's
Our bench,
true.
but yeah, man. And I think that
Mm,
sorry, the last thing that I do want to say, Jaden Sancho. This pains me to say this because you guys know I was very enthusiastic about Jaden Sancho coming to Man
look at
United.
You
you.
put it on wax. You
And
put it
We need
on.
to run the tape
yeah,
back. We need to run the tape back one time.
I made a TikTok. Check me out on TikTok, Mr. Nudo. I had over 15.7K views. I thought it did well. I thought I did well. I thought, like, but I think Jadon Sancho, his story at Manchester United has obviously been a disappointment. Um, I think underdelivered, overpaid. You could say that
For
about him
sure.
and a lot of players that have been playing for us and wore the United shirt over the past 10 years. But I think it's very sad to see him go back to Dortmund. And to be honest with you, I think it says a lot about Um, him, most importantly, him, just because I feel as if, um, the manager. This all started because the manager was asked a question in an interview saying, "Why wasn't he there?" And he gave the answer, and all of a sudden, he made it out to be a thing of like, "Oh well, he's making me out. I'm the scapegoat. This and that."
I'm not
Um,
saying sorry.
yeah, but like, I just don't understand like. But I also understand Mike's point to where this, yes sir, like schoolboy mentality is like not going to work, especially nowadays with amongst the players that are playing in today's game. Like that's not going to work. But I think the Jaden Sancho situation is disappointing. Obviously, hopefully he can go play well at Dortmund, and hopefully give the current manager or potentially a new manager something to think about going into next season. But I wish him the best. I think that it's best for both parties. I think that it's a good look for Ten Hag that someone like that isn't in the team. But I also think that it's good for Sancho because he gets to go out and play. And at the end of the day, we have to look out for the investment that was made in him, and we gotta make something shake out of him. So
Do you think? Do
I
you
wish him
think this is? Where'd you put this on the bus list, like of
for
signings? Because
for
I'm
us.
not just saying United. I'm just saying in general. Because this is like, I'm sorry. This whole signing was a bust. Like
Yeah, I mean
it was
definitely
a
one of the
Yeah,
most.
6 months.
bust,
He
bro.
I
didn't
would
even
say
have a full 6 months.
I would say bigger than the I would say I know a lot of people, especially as of late, have a lot of energy for Anthony. I don't think this is anywhere even near Anthony. I think this is by far one of the worst. And what makes it one of the worst is because of his wages. When you look at the wages and you look at
Yeah,
the
300 bags, right?
yeah, and when you look at the expected contribution that was
Expected, yeah.
expected, this is really bad. And I
Like
think you look back, and I think hmm, you look back at, and I think of guys. Most of the guys that I think about are all United guys, but like Paul Pogba wasn't as bad as this. Paul Pogba
no,
actually was actually very good. One
compared to
silverware.
this, bro,
I would
it's crazy.
say he was almost as bad as. No, I mean I think this probably takes it. I mean,
It's bad, bro. It's a real
yeah,
bad one.
it
Like,
didn't help that Ole that he went to Ole, but definitely bad.
mm, yeah, I
I mean,
don't
who
know.
else would you say? Who else is up there? One of the biggest busts of the Premier League. I mean, I busts in quotation marks. So I guess
It's all
Subjective,
relative,
right?
I
it's all
guess. Yeah.
relative and objective. But
I think it was just so huge because I mean he was one of the young talents emerging, you know what I'm saying? Like when we heard about Jaden Sancho 5, 6 years ago when he was 18 at Dortmund with that squad, it was him, it was Jude. I mean, Haaland. I mean, like when you think about the players that he played with, and then this move was supposed to be big, coming back to his
oh, I got one. I got one.
boyhood club.
Was he
And
was he a bigger bust than Alexis Sanchez for United? Because I think Alexis Sanchez was a wow. That was a bust.
But he was there for
That
a
that
while.
that was he. You
but
talk
at
about
least he
wages.
played though. At least he
Yeah,
played.
He didn't play well. He was on 350. He was almost
Yeah.
touching 400. You know that
hey,
he,
I
was-
don't.
he was collecting
He
two
should,
people's wages.
bro. He should have never left Arsenal, man. He talks about that mistake too. He was like, I should have never left.
No, I think it was. I think you guys were in the right of moving on from him. But I agree. I don't think that he shouldn't have came to us because that's well, I don't know. If he didn't come to us, he wouldn't have won the Scudetto years later. So
That's true. Everything happens for a reason. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's it. Sound. Nah, this is worse, bro. This is worse. Just like not only the play was bad, but like, bro, yeah, I don't know. This was worse. To
but
me,
but would you say what you expected? Like Alexis Sanchez when he was at Arsenal was in his prime.
for sure.
What we thought of Jaden Sancho was it's this idea what he could be. I don't know. Maybe he goes back to Dortmund and he's back to sizzling Sancho. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, no, I'm just saying. But he could go back and he could also be the overweight slow Sancho we've seen. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, he been popping out on IG, fresh
He's trying.
trim. He looks fit.
to his fair, yeah, fresh trim. But to be fair, in preseason he was our best player, and I do feel him in the sense of like, a lot of these guys have done so much more. But then again, it's like, bro, you had a little break this season. You had a spout with the guy last season. You left the last season. You left,
Facts.
like, which kind of makes me think, you know what, Gabriel, I think you're right. I think even though Alexis Sanchez was paid more, I think that this guy was way more of a bust.
Yeah. I just want to say this up there. For me, it's high. It's high in the sky on the list. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's tough because we know that the talent's there too. Like we know it's there, and we know what he could have provided for your squad. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys, whether we like it or not, you guys are still what, top 6, top 7 on the table. A player like him truly would have helped, but it is what it is. It's a new year. It's January. We're going to probably see some movement all around, but where we have started to see some movement is on the table. Arsenal. They looked like they were flying high, and in the blink of an eye, went from first place to fourth place with 2 big losses. Kind of just talk about that, and pretty much, I want you to talk about the 2 losses and like what you thought about your team, because we've seen Arsenal go down and come back before. Specifically this year, you guys have had some big wins where you were down and come back, but it seems like you ran into some teams that I wouldn't say you guys are always going to beat, but teams that are now more capable than in the past. So when you look at the table and where you guys are, how do you feel about that?
I think. I mean, based on these last 2 matches, I feel like we're where we deserve to be. As bad as that sounds, but some of the things that I've seen recently look bad. Like, um, I just think at the end of the day, like I understand defensive mistakes are gonna happen in like the West Ham game. Like that stuff happens. Like I'm not even really worried defensively. If I'm being completely honest, like defensively, outside of Zinchenko, like 1v1, like I'm not even trying to be funny. Outside of that situation, I am not worried about anything defensively because half the time Zinny's not even getting caught 1v1. Like if we're being completely honest, like we're really never in that situation. So defensively, bro, I don't feel bad because I mean, if you look at it, we're still bottom in the we're still top of the tape. We're still first for goals against. We have the least goals against out of anyone in the entire league. Like it speaks for itself. But where we really fall short is goals for. Out of the top, I think we're sixth or seventh in goals for. 37 goals. Newcastle have more goals than us. Tottenham have more goals than us. These are teams that are below us in the table. I think Brighton has like a goal, the same amount or maybe one more than us. And that's where the problem is. Like, so when I go into a match like Fulham, like, yes, we didn't play well, but don't sit here and say like we didn't have our chances. Like we had chances. Like Saka had chances. Martinelli could have put the ball and we could have had chances. Like, and yes, we didn't play the best, but I'm at this point, I'm just looking like offensively, bro. Like, and even Fulham showed even more of that. Like, and I think of course, West Ham. I think VAR played us. I'm sorry, that ball is out. Just want to
Oh,
be
definitely.
clear. The ball is out, and I don't want to hear. Oh, it's not conclude. Like the ball is out, bro. Let's keep it a whole stack. Like, and I think this season is just gonna be. It is what it is with the, with these decisions. And I think next year, hopefully, they're gonna have that goal line technology on the sideline because it's too many times now that it's happened for so many teams that they don't have an angle or this and the third. Like we just need the same technology. I don't see how you can have it on the sideline, but not or have it for the goal line, but on the sideline doesn't, or end line doesn't make any sense. But um, but yeah, no, it was good to get or not to get one back in that one, but yeah, that one was just like it's just unacceptable performance. And like I said, really don't think it's defensively. I think it's offensively, and it's unfortunate too because if we want to win a title, like we can't afford to drop points at home. Like you look at Aston Villa, the reason that they're in the position they are right now is because they don't drop points at home. Were they 16 unbeaten or something like that? Like they don't drop points there. You can't afford to drop points at home. And I feel like we we lost two matches and we're I said last season when we were in a position where we kept dropping points. I said we've already used our our losses, like our loss cards. Like we can only obtain so many losses to the point where the league is unattainable at that point. Now I'm looking at past tables, like bro, 27 matches, 28 matches. If you win 27, 28 matches, you'll be one or two for the most part. Like there are very like few years, past couple years, where someone didn't win 27 or 28 matches and they didn't win the Prem. Of course, like but even the year when Liverpool and City went to it, I think City had 30 and Liverpool had like 28 or 29, but they had mad draws and City had a couple more losses. So it's like 28 games really seals it. And if we want to hit 28 games, I mean, that's 16 out of what? You feel me? 18 more games that we have.
Yeah.
So in the reality of things, I'm looking at it like, bro, at this point, I'm looking at it like we need to go on a 7-game win streak. Like we have no other choice for it because we dropped points at home against West Ham, and then now we're playing a team who's 14th, 15th on the table, 16th on the table, and I don't care if it's away. We're much better than Fulham, like much better than Fulham. And I look in the Fulham match, like we get the goal early. Saka gets it's a deflect, or the goalie makes a save, hits it to Saka. He's on side, gets a deflection in the goal. But it's after that, it's like they just went on cruise and didn't do anything until we got scored on. Then we're like, oh, we gotta wake up. Like I've been saying, this team is not smelling blood. Like when we lose to a team, okay, we'll go get it back in blood, right? But it shouldn't take us losing to a team to go have to get it back in blood the next time we play them or whatever the case may be. Like when you smell blood, bro, you have to go. Like we got a goal in the 4th minute away from home. Shut the crowd up, like quick. Why is it look like we're on the back foot now? Now we're not trying to control the ball. We're being lazy. Like there's no tempo, there's no rhythm to our play. Like, and it makes no sense to me. And then we go and we get scored on, and we come back on, we get scored on again. And then again, you just have guys not finishing chances. Like West Ham game, Jesus had 2 headers. This match, Saka had a clear chance off of a ball that got through to him on Loki on a deflection off a cross. I'm sorry, bro. You gotta finish. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what else you want me to say? You have to be better, bro. Like, if y'all want to win a title, I'm sorry, but now we put ourselves in a predicament where now we have to go on the run. Like, you have no other choice. And we have some tough matchups coming too. Like, we play Liverpool on Sunday, a confidence game. Like, it's for the FA Cup, but still, that's another cup we're in. Week after that, like, we have to put these teams away. And at this point, there is no reason we should be dropping points at home. Like, I can understand if it's, like a Liverpool, a City, a top team, and we get a draw, but losing at home is dead now. Like, we already used those cards. We used that card against West Ham. We used that card against what's it called, Villa. We used those cards already. We cannot afford to drop points at home. We cannot win. Not even draws. Like, a draw would be the most that we could do. We cannot afford it. And these past 2 performances, man, I'm just disappointed in the play. Like, and a little bit of Arteta too, because I didn't like the lineup for Fulham at all. I'm sorry, but Nketiah doesn't need to start. He just does. Like, in this side, we have too much at stake. Where if it's not necessary, he doesn't need to start. And Nketiah hasn't shown me anything goal scoring wise that Jesus wouldn't like. And Jesus is a better player within our system, so I really don't like that start. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, these got up top, like we got to get it together. It's there's no other place to look but the guys up top. And Martinelli, you've been nowhere. Haven't seen that guy in weeks. Jesus, nowhere. I haven't seen you in weeks. Saka, we have to learn how to beat this press or this getting doubled on. Like we have to figure it out. Because if we don't, that's the title right there. If we don't figure it out, that's the title right there. So I just think we need to figure it out offensively, and we need to bring in a striker, like I've been saying. Because I mean, even half the time when Martinelli and Saka get the ball, they have no one to pass the ball or cross the ball into. There's no one in the box there. We'll have Trossard there. He's not going to win a header. Jesus, you can tell he can't head the ball, and he's never in there either. The guy who what's it called, scores the most on crosses and headers is Kai Havertz for the most part. He's the only guy who's really in those advanced positions. So yeah, man, we need to get it together up front.
Do you think because I've been seeing online that like a lot of people are trying to pin it on on this person or it's that person. I agree with you. I think you guys obviously need a 9. That's like one of the biggest glaring holes that is in your team. Can you address, I guess, a lot of people online are making a thing about Declan Rice not being able to play passes forward. I don't necessarily disagree with all of that, but I don't think that that's necessarily why you guys aren't creating the chances that you're creating. Um, but do you think? But do you think one, the squad depth could be a reason why you don't win the Premier League title this year? And two, do you think you're getting enough production from certain players in your team?
Name him.
I thought Havertz was very poor. In the game.
I mean,
I'll name another. I just was wondering.
what was your first question again? You said, do I have like one or certain players to blame? No, I don't have like certain guys. I don't know why people are getting on Declan Rice. Like we're asking Declan Rice to do 2 jobs. We're asking him to be a 6 and then turn into an 8 and go create and be Loki what Zinchenko is for us, in a sense. Like we're asking him to go do 2-3 jobs. Like well, there's only so much you can put on his hands. Like like I said, I don't think our problem's in the mid. I don't think our problem is defensively. Like I really don't think that's an issue. I truly think it's our front 4, and Odegaard's included in that. Like Odegaard's had so many chances this year, and he's just blown. Last year, these are goals. Like these are certain. Like I know if Odegaard gets in this position, it's money. Like I know it's money. This year, I've seen him miss chances on the PK spot with him getting a touch. Like I've seen it with my own eyes multiple games this year, and I'm like, bro, these are getting buried last year. So what's the difference? Honestly, what's the difference? Saka too, missing chances. Martinelli has not been anywhere. Has not been any. I haven't seen Martinelli in weeks, bro. Weeks. Yeah. I haven't seen Jesus in weeks. Like, it's my problem is up front. My problem is up front. And what was your second question? Are there certain players, like you said something about players?
Yeah, just because I thought like when a lot of people were saying what they were saying about Declan Rice, and you said it too, like we're asking him to be a 6, and then we're asking him to be an 8. Where I just feel like your 8 doesn't really do anything, and your 8 was Havertz. But
the thing is, like Havertz, I'm giving a little bit of leeway to because this past couple games he's been performing.
Yeah, he's been fine. I feel you though. Odegaard too is like.
But like, no, I'm looking at Odegaard. Like, bro, you are a captain. You're supposed to lead by example. Where have you been? Like, all this looking busy, bro, is not it. We're not performing. We're not scoring. Like, oh, Declan Rice needs to pass the ball and be, and break these lines. Like, first and foremost, he does break lines. I've seen this guy break lines every week. I see him break lines every week. We want this guy to go be Odegaard? Like, what more do we want Declan Rice to do? Like, if I'm being completely honest, he's the one stable player in this team. Like, outside of Saliba, Gabriel really like he's the most stable guy in our team to me personally, outside of Saliba. We see this guy perform on a week in, week out basis, pretty much sevens. Like outside of this past week, pretty much sevens. So it's like, what more do we really want him to do
I
when
feel
we
you.
have Odegaard and Zinchenko in there as well when he's playing well? But it's like he's a liability, so we can't even afford to do that. So no, I don't want to. I don't really don't want to like pin it. I'm not gonna pin it on Declan Rice. Like no, um, he's doing what he needs to do. I'm looking at these other guys. I'm looking at our front four, our front three, and Odegaard. That's who I'm looking at right now. Kai Havertz, he's just not getting on. He didn't play well this past this past match, but like the past 3-4 matches before that, he played well. Got his points. So I got his goals. I just need our front three to start finishing, bro. Like I need a striker because there's so many times that Martinelli can just play a simple through ball to a 9. If a 9 was there, so many passes just through ball here, slotted across here. So many times Saka ball plays a perfect ball in the box. Nobody's there to head it, or the header isn't good enough. How did Kai Havertz score his first goal? A Saka cross back post. Kai Havertz scored 2 goals like that now. So it's like we need like I don't know how much I can stress it enough, bro. Like if we don't get a 9 this season in January, if we don't get a 9 this window, we're not winning the title. I will put that on wax I'll put that on wax right now.
That was my question.
If we don't get a 9 this January, I could honestly care less about a center back right now. They want to bring in the center backs and a midfield, bro. If we don't go get a 9 in this January window, we might as well just look for 24-25 season to go win an EPL. I'm being completely honest because we're doomed without it. And I feel like it'll help everyone else eat on our team too. If they can cross the ball in, you feel me, and also go get theirs, then I feel like it'll ease our game up. But
what striker is getting you that Premier League?
Bro, I think an Ivan Toney to get us the Premier League. I've been seeing. Everyone's been saying Solanke. I really don't want to go get Solanke, if I'm being honest. And I'm not like mad at the shout, but I've only seen this guy a couple matches do this, and then they're gonna go probably sell him high for 60 bands or 60 mil.
You already know.
I don't need that. Yeah, I don't. When we can just go and just spend the money now. Like I don't, bro. Like I'm looking at this January transfer window so heavily because if I'm just looking at who we go get, like, yes, I think we need midfield reinforcements. Yes, I think we need another left back. Like they're thinking about bringing Kieran Tierney back from loan.
Where's he
feel me?
at?
Like he's at Sociedad.
Sociedad. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think he's at Sociedad. So
He's someone that I felt like he shouldn't have left.
He shouldn't have left. We were so infatuated with Zinni that Tierney couldn't play in the middle as well as Zinni could. So we had to let Tierney go. He wasn't getting the time. But look at us now. Look at us now. Now we need someone defensively who he can play in the middle, but we need someone more defensively. So yeah, man. I don't. It's crazy, bro. I just know if we don't go get a 9, bro, Gabriel Jesus has told him himself he's not a goal scorer. He told him from his own mouth. So if we want to go win a title, we have to be on pace with goals with every team above us. And we're 8 goals behind, 6 goals behind some of these teams. Those 6-7 goals are the difference between wins, draws, losses. Simple as that. We could be 13-5-2 right now and be sitting on 45 points, 44 points. Like we can be that. We want to know why? Because we don't have a striker. One, our wingers, we rely so much on our wingers to score goals, and Odegaard to score goals, and even Xhaka to score goals last year. That when they're not performing, everything's dried up now. Now we're relying on Gabriel headers to go win games now. You feel me? Like we got to get it sorted. And I know you switched to transfer talk. I know we didn't even get on Chelsea because I know Chelsea has some games too. But like, I don't even want to. We can get into transfer talk in a little bit because I know we ain't talked Chelsea yet. But like, man, some of the things I'm hearing about my team in this transfer window are disturbing, bro. Like,
That's who you tell.
But we could talk Chelsea because we have time to talk about that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say to Arsenal's point, I said this a little bit earlier. Like Odegaard, even last year, there were weeks where he just didn't show up, and Saka and other players were there to pick up the slack. But I feel like this year you don't have that production goal wise. There's no one really to pick up the slack, and when that happens, you need your big boys to perform. Just in big moments. And I mean, when you look at that Fulham match, like you said, you guys had chances, and they scored with 30 minutes left, and you just weren't able to capitalize on that. So I feel like you definitely need a striker. If you, I mean, when you look at what Liverpool's doing right now, City is being regular City. Kevin De Bruyne is about to be back, and Aston Villa. As much as we don't like to admit it, they're in the top four. It looks like they're there to stay. They're scoring goals as well, whether it be from their front three or anywhere else. So I feel like you guys need to figure that part out. The goals. I think you're 100% right on that. Defensively, you guys are sound, but when it comes to goal production, there's just a lot of misses.
Weak. There's no
Lot,
reason
a
we
lot
should.
of misses.
If we want to go win a title race, there's no reason we should be sixth or seventh in in goals for. There's no way. There shouldn't be a team in seventh or eighth with more goals than us.
I
It's
agree.
we won't win the title like that. It's impossible unless our goals are 10 against. Like it's impossible. Man. Crazy.
No, I agree. I agree. But
Sick.
yeah, man, Chelsea. I honestly, I really don't have much to say about us. I wish Mike was here so we can kind of go back and forth, but it's good to see two wins to close out the 2023 calendar year. The 2-1 win against Crystal Palace. I was looking on the last time we lost to them. I think it was 2017. So Palace is one of those teams where I always feel confident when we play them. But then, Luton, the last time we recorded, I said we beat Luton 3-0 at home. We would go and smack them 3-0 as well over there. And and it looked like we were going to smack them boys 3-0.
Yeah.
And Luton was coming off a 2-game win streak. They had beaten Newcastle in a big win, and then I believe they beat Sheffield 3-2. And so they had a lot of momentum, in the game against us. And kind of like Gabriel, what you said about Arsenal, you guys switched off after Saka scored that early goal. Chelsea finally, Chelsea is the same way. We switch off. We're up 3 goals. You think that third goal is the clincher, but for some reason we just switch off. And I feel like that's part of having a young team, but I also feel like that's partly on Pochettino. You have to make sure your boys have that killer, kind of like what you said. We have to smell blood. We're sitting in 10th place, you know, closer to the relegation zone than we are the top 4 right now, points wise. And so when we get 3 goals, this is one of those matches where, Nani Madueke is scoring, Cole Palmer got his 2.
Yeah.
Why isn't Nico Jackson looking to add one? This is a game where as striker, you should be looking to get one. I know he had a few chances, he had an assist, but it's like, bro, if you're supposed to be our striker, you're supposed to be hungry for goals. Like I get you can get assists and you can play in between the lines, and now we're moving you to the outside, so you're low key playing as a winger. But at the end of the day, we bought you as a striker. You need to get your goals, and I know we're not having as much as an issue with you just because we aren't in a title race right now. But in the same breath, we're in the semifinals for the Carabao Cup. We have an FA Cup match coming up this week. I know we have no chances of winning the league this year, but I want to win a trophy some way, somehow. And when I look at games like this where we can't put them away against a team like Luton, it's tough for me to think, okay, so if we do win our semifinal match, we have to go play a team possibly like Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. Carabao Cup. This is a cup that we lost to them 2 years ago. So we should be coming back for blood. I know it's a whole new team, whole new manager, whole new core. But at the end of the day, this is something that we haven't won in a while. And we haven't won anything since, our Champions League in 2021. It's about to be 2024. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a 3-year trophy drought in Chelsea probably my whole time being a fan of theirs. So it's good to see these wins. Like I used to say, winning cures all, but it doesn't cure everything. It just hides some of the big things that we're lacking right now, which is being able to finish matches, being able to put away these lower teams on the table. But at the end of the day, man, I was talking about Cole Palmer before we started recording because I was saying, that I can't stop watching that Cole Palmer goal because I don't want to create any comparisons between the two players, but I haven't seen a player come to Chelsea and just step up and take over since we had Eden Hazard.
I knew you were about to say him.
But,
Yeah.
and I don't want people to start gassing and be like, he's the next Hazard. No, they're two totally different players. But
Yeah.
we haven't had anyone with the confidence to step into a team at his young age, step into a team and take over like that. And once I saw the goal, it honestly gave me a whole bunch of hope for what we have moving forward. Like I said at the end of last year, I think 2024 will have more points on the table in 2023. Um, with Nkuku coming in, you see how the front three, front four is starting to become a little bit more fluid. They're all interchanging between those outside wingers and that 10 role. And it's nice to see that our front four can, there's competition now. We're moving Nico Jackson out to the wing because we have Nkuku up there now. We have Broya who wants to get more time. So players like Sterling who haven't been producing for us, all those accolades that you had at Liverpool and City, it don't matter no more, bro. We need you to produce for us. And if you're not, we'll just get the next young guy off the bench. So it's good to see that we have some competition up front. I mean, this is all I've been asking for the last year and a half. We need one, people who can be more clinical, and two, we need competition up front because we need people who can score goals. So not too much to talk about Chelsea. I'm glad where we are right now. I just hope that we can continue. Like whenever we string together these 2-3 wins in a row, it seems like there's usually an international break or there's something that comes up and then we just lose all of our form. And that's kind of the biggest issue I have right now. Like, yes, we have Carabao and FA Cup coming up. We don't have a lot of African players, so it's not like we're losing a lot of people to AFCON coming up here in the next week or so. But the momentum, I feel like we aren't able to carry that momentum into the Prem, whether it be, like I said, international break or whether it's a FA, blah, 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 blah. Because we have so much squad, we like to rotate. But at the end of the day, I think Pochettino just needs to play the best 11, whatever he feels that best 11 is. I think he just needs to continue to play them and keep them on the field together. Because now that we have players coming back from injury, it's going to be a whole different look come 2024. Still don't have Chilwell, still don't have Reece James. And to be honest, with the way Malo Gusto is playing, Reece is going to have to earn his spot back. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't done any shout outs, but my shout out is going to be Malo Gusto. A lot of y'all were making fun of me and Mike last week when we were saying Malo Gusto is a proper right back. If you look at these last two matches, he's been a proper right back. He's been able to give us a lot in the attacking third. And then when you look at the defensive third, not a lot of people are beating him 1v1. He's tracking all the way back. He's doing the hard and the dirty work to make sure that we don't get scored on his side. So for me, I like where we're at. I just need it to continue. Like I said, Pochettino had one job for me this year, and it was to create some sort of identity. I still don't know where it is, but I like the fact that, whoever the next guy is off of the bench is given 110% because they know that we have so much squad that they're going to need to prove that they should be starting on our team. So with Chelsea right now, heading into this next week, I love the way everything looks. Just keep it up, man. Just keep the momentum, keep this play style up because this gives a lot of hope to the fans and players like us. Like I said, if we can win a trophy this year, I will think this is a successful season.
Question for you.
You go ahead.
No, you finished? Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say trophy and finishing, in the top 10 because we can't get a trophy and be 13th place and be, look at it as a success. But based on where we are right now, I would say trophy and finish in the top 10 would be a success.
So I think, like we talked about last week, I think the Carabao Cup for you guys would be good, definitely. Um, do you? I'm pretty sure Nicholas Jackson is going to Afcon, right? He got called up by Senegal.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so two questions. The first question: do you think replacing him will be difficult?
No,
And okay, do you think Brohock?
because when you because when you look at our team right now, I mean, I think Nicholas Jackson has 7 goals in the Prem,
Yeah,
maybe 8, and 3 of those came. Like I keep saying, 3 of those came
Fraudulent,
from. Hmm?
fraudulent,
3 of
fraudulent.
those, his hat trick came against a 9-man Tottenham,
yeah,
about a few months ago, and a lot of his other goals have been very, very weak, meaning tap ins. A lot of you should have scored probably 2 times before this, but I'm glad you got your goal today. And so when you look at his missed opportunities, I think if we put somebody like Armando Broya there, who hasn't been able to get the same run of games because one, he was coming off injury, and two, like I said, we have so many attackers, it's hard to get everybody in every match. I don't think he's hard to replace.
mm,
I really don't. It's kind of like when we had Timo Werner. Timo ended with double-digit goals each of the seasons that he played with us. But if you
yeah,
looked at his highlight of misses, he easily could have
yeah,
scored 2 to 3 more times that. And I'm getting the same sort of imposter syndrome with Nicholas Jackson here. He looks very, very busy on the ball. He does all the nice things. He does the hold-up play. But when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, it's frustrating
yeah.
because he doesn't do that well. So no, I don't think it's going to be hard to replace him. And then, when you look at some of the players that are coming up, and Kuku, he's played 2 matches in a row now. He's got his goal, and I know he's going to be hungry for more. Nani Madueke hasn't got a lot of time to play this year. Got 2 games in a row. He's got 2 goals. So for me, we're finding goals outside of our striker position, but I still think we need a 9 if we want to compete with the top teams in the league.
So, do you think, to Papa's point, him,
Scarecrow is crazy.
yeah, him going to Afcon, I'm not even sure if he may start. I don't know. I don't know who's really fighting for that position there. But since we're on the topic, real quick of Afcon, quickly, who are your guys' picks to win the Afcon? I know like we'll talk about it a little bit more over the next few weeks as the tournament gets started. But just on here, just who are your guys' picks to win the Afcon tournament? Me personally, I'll go first. Sadly, Ethiopia didn't make it. But I have to go with my Senegalese guys, man. I think they're gonna go back to back.
I
So
would say, yeah, I would say this. I mean, Liberia didn't make it either. So unfortunate. Yeah, but I was gonna say Senegal or honestly Ghana. I'm gonna make a shout. I think Ghana might
I'm gonna
steal
tell
it.
you, I wish Mike was on here because I was gonna tell him that.
I think
I
Ghana
think
might
I think
steal
they're
it.
frauds.
I think Ghana has a lot of big names, and we're used to seeing them in the World Cup, and so we want to say Ghana, but I'm with you, Salam. I think they're a little fraudulent.
They
Um,
are. They
they're
are.
still rocking. They're still rocking with the IU
My
brothers up
man,
top.
it's Africa. It's
Yeah.
AFCON, man.
I wish
Listen,
Mike was on here.
it's
Nah,
AFCON.
we still
Listen, come
rocking.
on, bro. Y'all remember the foolishness we saw at AFCON the
Hey.
last time, bro?
No, no,
Come
no,
on,
no.
bro.
But if
It's
if you really
listen,
if you
bro.
really want my sleeper team, and I mean I don't even think they should be a sleeper, but no one's really been talking about them. Morocco.
Yeah, Morocco
I
too. I
mean,
was
if you
thinking
look at what they
sleeper.
did in this past World Cup,
Yeah,
if you look at
so
the
shit.
players they have playing in Europe now, they have a strong team from
Hakimi.
Bono, from Bono, all the way up top. They have some players. Hakimi in the back, who's probably going to be playing a midfield wing back role.
Yeah.
What's Buddy's name that plays for PSG?
Sophia and Amrabat. What do you mean?
He's Amrabat, not. But yeah, what's Buddy's name? El Nusi.
Yeah, El Nussi. He
You know
used to
that.
play for I think Villa.
Yeah, I mean, they have some players. They have a lot of players. They even
Yeah.
Adli, who plays for Leverkusen now.
Yeah.
Leverkusen right now is rolling. So
Was
I
he the
feel
one?
like
Was he the young kid that got? Remember the young kid, number 8? Like,
I'm not
was
sure what
that
his
was that who
number
you're
is.
talking about?
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
like
but
the very no disrespect to him, but he was kind of like the smaller version of what James Rodriguez was. Remember when he like
Yeah,
everyone was
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, this kid, Onani or something, Ohani." I don't know.
Oh, Nani, yeah. I think it was
Onani.
oh,
Not
let me
sure.
see. Let me look at their team.
All I'm gonna say is take the over in every game that Cameroon is in because that keeper in there he'll concede. He will concede. And I don't know why Ten Hag is like fighting to keep him. Like he's like, oh, please stay for Tottenham, please stay for Tottenham. It's like, no, send him. I'll take him to
Send him.
Cameroon. I'll take him to Cameroon myself. Um, but yeah, I think
Yeah,
Nigeria is going to be very strong this year too. I think that they have a
Nigeria
lot of
will be solid, but
yeah.
I really think Morocco is going to make some noise. People
Okay.
keep
I
forgetting.
can
People
see it.
even forgetting about Ziyech. You know what I'm saying? Now that he's found favor in the national team again, he's only 30. You know, he's not far out of his prime. I think they just have a solid team. And basically, and based on the way they played in the World Cup, like they're a squad. They're a squad. I feel like they play for each other too. But like we
Yeah.
always say, it's AFCON. Anything can happen for real.
Nah.
Okay, man. Shout out my Senegalese guys. But yeah, man. Who else we got? We got question for you guys. Is this no disrespect, Gabriel? Is this a Liverpool City title race this year?
No.
No.
Not yet, bro.
Not yet. I don't want to. I don't want to go ahead and say it's going to be a two-horse race because, like Gabriel said, man, they're really not out of it. And I don't want to I don't want to super gas Villa, but Villa's been playing well. And when you look at first place all the way down to
Hold
fifth
on,
place,
Gabriel. Hold on.
when you look at first place to fifth place, there's only 6 points that separate the teams. You can't mute me, Salam. You can't mute me.
Hey, that's a
Hey,
new that's a
hey, you
new
can't mute me, bruh.
that's a new
Hey, I'm rocking all the hipster teams. I'm rocking with all the hipster teams this pod.
yo. Whenever anyone starts to hear some fraudulent nonsense, just know
Yo.
we're gonna take a brief intermission by yeah. Yeah.
Hey, you're crazy.
Hey,
Go ahead,
just
go
because
ahead.
y'all
Hey,
beat Villa
you're
don't mean they're not better than you.
crazy.
I'm just saying.
Just because y'all beat Villa don't mean they're not better than you.
You're crazy, Salam.
That was funny.
Anybody can get
I'll,
got.
I'll tell you this: if Villa don't lose, if Villa lose one or two matches at home, they'll make top four. Only, I'll tell you that right now.
Fair. That's fair.
Well,
They keep winning at home, they're gonna make top four. I'll tell you that right now.
But yeah, no, City is only 5 points behind Liverpool in first place with a game in hand. So, assuming they win their game in hand, they'll be 2 points off the top. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be Villa, City, Arsenal, but that all depends on Arsenal. You know what I mean? But I think it's too early just to say Liverpool and City right now. But bro, I think City is beatable. They're very, very beatable. I mean, we've been saying it all year. They can get got. They're starting to get back in the City that we know and love or know and hate. But Liverpool looks real solid. Liverpool looks like they're back. Arsenal they've taken their lumps in the last couple of weeks, but I still think that they have enough in the tank to be able to push for a title race again. What you think, G?
Man, I think if we don't get a 9, then we not making no motion. We have no motion if we don't go get a 9. Like I'm so serious. I'm just sitting here looking at the table. Like Newcastle is in 9th place and they have 2 more goals than us. Can you imagine? Newcastle is in 9th place and they have 2 more goals than us.
yeah.
Like what? That is crazy. Like, yeah, I don't think that we're out of it. I don't think it's just City and Liverpool right now. Like, it's 5 points. There's a 5-point gap between top and us right now. I know City has a game in hand, so even at most, let's say all the teams, win their matches, whatever, it'd be Liverpool 45, City with 43, and us on 40. Like, no, it's a race. It's 5 points. Like, it's so early. Points are still going to get dropped. Like, by all teams. Let's be real. Like, points we're halfway through the season. Points are still going to get dropped. But
Okay.
like, we're in a predicament now where teams might have leeway later in the season, or wins might not be as necessary later in the season because of the work that they put in the beginning of the season. Like, if Liverpool, gets a 7-8 point lead on the top, they might be able to afford to take an L or two or draw here and there later in the season. Like, we can afford to do that right now. And we're in a position where we can't. So, and even City, like, if City drop, if they lose 2 matches and Liverpool win 2 matches,
Yeah.
so it's the gap is even further. So it's, like I said, it's really about, you have to win on those weeks that teams above you draw or lose. Like, you have to get a dub. You have to be like aware of what's going on. And I mean, I don't mean to go back to Arsenal, but like, just over these past 2 weeks or these past 2 matches, it just feels like I don't feel like we understand in the position that we're at. Like, I feel like we're just like, oh, like we're still in the title race. It's like, it's close, and like, yeah, it's close, but this is slipping. Like, like, this is slipping. You can't, if you want to go win a title, like, you have to go get results. Like, these teams are getting results. Liverpool has 1 loss on the season. Let's be real. They have 1 loss on the season. They have mad draws, like, but they have 1 loss on the season.
I
City
feel
has,
like that's going under the radar too. People aren't
yeah,
really
like,
talking about
people
Liverpool like
aren't
that.
talking about that. Like, nah, Liverpool they're 13-6-1. Like, them
Could be
boys have,
worse with Salah leaving.
for sure, and it could be worse with Salah leaving. But at the same time, some of them L's could have been, or some of those what's it called? Some of those draws could have been L's, but they got the draws. Like, that's what I'm saying. And those are games I know that I've seen them get draws at home. Yes, they shouldn't have drawn the match, but at least they got a point. Like, that point matters. You know what I mean? Like, so. But no, I don't think it's just City and Liverpool just yet. I think there's still some more time. I think we have a couple more weeks, at least.
Right. Let's get into some transfer talk before we get to predictions real quick.
I really don't even think Chelsea has too much on the transfer talk. At least not of yet. I haven't seen any names that have been buzzing. I know we got Andre Santos. We're pulling him back from loan. Forgot where he was on loan at, but Brazilian winger slash striker. We'll see how he does on the squad.
Why are you bringing him back?
I don't know.
Like, he has to be better than what they must not be happy with what they have, because I think I've seen
Nottingham
Matson
Forest.
played there. Matson played as a winger. Sterling plays as a winger. I think Sterling can't play. I think that he's the one that's like, you've clearly fallen out of form. You're making poor decisions, and people always say that Sterling only plays well before the England call-ups come out. And then once he figures out that he doesn't make it, he goes back to just chilling, the man.
Yeah, man. I'm really. I know we're talking transfers, but I've been really disappointed in Sterling so far this year. Like I said, he was supposed to be one of the guys that kind of led the charge, and so far it seems like it's the young boys, CP, that are out there doing it.
I'm curious because next year he'll be there for 3 years. I'm curious to see if you guys will keep him going into next season, but I definitely want to revisit that transfer, like, when it's all said and done. But as far as transfer links, go ahead, Gabriel.
I know. I've been saying. I know this would be crazy for y'all to pull off engineering, but I've been seeing Osimhen to Chelsea, man. It's been. I know it's just rumors, but
if anyone could do it, it's Chelsea. Y'all could do it.
If we'll see what happens after this. Like, if he has a good AFCON, like if he comes back buzzing, I could see us pulling trigger, because we don't have a 9. We really don't.
Yeah, you guys are very reactionary too. So if he's
facts,
if he gets what, and the thing is, in AFCON, like, I don't know, bro. No disrespect to my African brothers there, but it's just like it can be very misleading. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Remember Abu Bakar?
Blue
Actually, to be
car.
fair, Abu Bakar
Hey, he
was the
went
one.
crazy.
He
Yo,
did. He went
he went
crazy.
crazy.
He
I'm
went
like,
Like
yo,
fade.
5 goals in the group stage. I'm like,
he
hey,
plays for
yo.
Besiktas. Like wow. But yeah, man. If anybody would do it, it's definitely Chelsea. But as far
What's
as United links go,
yeah, what's United looking like?
the biggest one is Olise from Crystal
Crystal
Palace.
Palace.
His,
Ooh.
Wow.
yeah, his release
But he
clause
signed
just
a, he
came
signed
out.
a new he signed a new deal.
He did, but the crazy part is that apparently he has a release clause and it's only 60 million. And I mean, I'm just like, yo, I don't.
Sign me up.
Hey, I'm just like, yeah, that's a no brainer. And again, like Olise falls into that category of like Ivan Tony and Declan Rice. Maybe not to that like magnitude, right? Like right away,
What?
but like no, I'm not saying to like their like magnitude. Like I mean, they're just in their prime right now, so it's easier to say like they would have more of an impact than this guy who's still young. But I still think that this guy is a player that would help any of our teams. So I think
He, my, my, my
signing
bad.
him up would definitely be a no brainer, and it's good because hopefully, it obviously shows that they're not happy with the wingers that we currently have. So guys like Anthony, guys like Rashford, guys like I mean Garnacho, you you got yo we got to get better. So we're also linked with
Oh,
guys like Werner too, but
so I don't mean to get off the topic of transfers, but what do you think about Ahmed Diallo coming back?
I like Amad Diallo a lot. But what I'm seeing with this manager is if you're good, he won't play you. So um, I just I think that he's a good player. He's a really good player. There was a little clip that's been circulating around online about like United players going 1v1 with people and like look at the 1v1 he had and then look at the 1v had Anthony had night and day. I think he could be potentially our best winger on that side. Left footed too. Definitely an answer for the right hand side, but he probably won't play.
Yeah, I hear you. So what do you think about the talks though? I mean, you I'd say you said you want to bring Elise. My only problem with Elise is just too injury prone. He's never healthy. Like
Yeah, but I mean,
always missing time. But when he's
yeah,
on the pitch, he's good though. Like I would never dog Elise. I think he's amazing. I mean, I would love him on my team.
yeah. I mean, shit. I wouldn't stop at Elise. I would while we're there. If you want to take this other 60 for Eze, I would do that too. Um, I think both of
Clean
those
house.
guys. I think both of those guys are going to be really good, and I think that has to be the route that United goes now. We can't go after these like the Harry Canes anymore.
Name
The
brand.
like yeah, the name we can't do that. I actually saw a link to this guy at Atalanta midfielder, and I liked it because it's like I've never heard of him. Like we need more guys like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need so. Um, yeah, definitely. I would welcome Olise definitely. I think Timo Werner. It sounds crazy, but I think that he would be effective in this team with the way that we play.
Got to cross the ball.
Yeah,
He can
Cornelius,
get
you're
down the line and cross
you're
the
you're
ball.
you're on mute. You're on mute, Cornelius.
Oh yeah. My bad. I said he'd be like what Mudrik is to us. Like he's not the scorer, but that speed and being able to link up with whoever's playing that 10 role. I think he'd
Yeah,
be good for y'all. I mean, if you, honestly, bro, if you look at what Timo did the 2 years he was on our team, he was very, very productive, goals and assists. I mean, and if he was just better at scoring goals, he honestly would have been in a golden boot race. He's dead ass. But
but the crazy
I
thing
think
is,
Timo would be good for you guys because you don't have anyone that's willing to do the hard work that he does and
yeah,
that's as consistent as him. Like he doesn't really get hurt. He'll be there every match.
but he's not even playing for Leipzig or like that. So I'm just like, these are the caliber of players that we're getting. The guys that don't even play well. They're not even playing for their teams. But you know, yeah. I mean, Regulon is gone now too. So there's that. but
Mm,
we move.
mm.
Hey,
Other than
Ro,
that,
any links to Arsenal? You seen anybody?
Man, listen. I'm so interested in what we do this window. Like I've been saying this whole episode. We've been
you
looking
think
at
it's
center
you
backs.
think it's a big window?
Yeah, 10,000.
Mm.
If we want to go, if we want to, I mean, in the in the grand scheme of things, like if we personally, if we don't go buy a striker this window, I'm just thinking that we're calling this season dead in the Premier League. We might just go try to win champions. Like if I'm being completely honest, because I don't know what he can't see. And this is one thing about Arteta, man. He's stubborn. Like I think everyone knows, like Arteta is stubborn. His way is like his way or like the highway. Like like you can't. He's very stubborn when it comes to his decisions. And I've been seeing that we want to keep Eddie Nketiah. I see that Palace is interested. I know Brentford's interested, and I think there's another team, maybe Bournemouth or something like that, like heavily interested in Nketiah. We keep saying no, and I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that Arteta has him in his plans, and I'm just like, bro, there's an Ivan Toney over there that you can go cash and Nketiah, and we already have this FFP, thing over our head. We can't spend too much. What are we really talking about? Like I see us in links with for defenders. Schlotterbeck from Dortmund. I see we've been in on him, which they're saying is a little bit unrealistic for this January. I've seen DeLit. I hear we want to bring in DeLit from he's at Juve right now, right?
Yeah.
DeLit,
Yeah,
yeah, DeLit's at Juve.
he's
I
at
see
Bayern.
that.
Or no,
No,
he's at
sorry,
Bayern.
Bayern. Yeah, I'm tripping. But Bayern, we want to bring him in. I think that would be a good signing. Midfield wise, I've heard Douglas Luiz, even though they're talking, that number is looking too crazy for trying to bring him from Villa. And I've heard Andre Onana as us for an option, which I wouldn't even be mad about a Partey replacement. Like I said,
Wait,
I've
did you
read it
say
enough.
Andre? You
No,
meant
no,
Amadou.
Nah, yeah.
Amadou.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Amadou. I said
I'm
you can
sorry. I'm
have
sorry.
Andre.
No. My
I'll take
fault.
Amadou. Pause.
Amadou. Onana. Yeah, I heard he's been linked. Which I would a Partey replacement. I'd be happy with that. I've been saying this since last year. I've been high on Onana for years now. I've always liked the way he plays football. So yeah, and then up top, Ivan Tony Solanke. Ali Watkins. I haven't really heard his name too much, but
You
He
think
kind of
he's
sits
that
he,
much
down this
better?
year.
Is he that much better than
the
Gabriel Jesus?
Solanke, who he had
Ali
those 4
Watkins.
goals. He's scoring these headers that Jesus is missing. Like Salam, like for the
No,
amount
I
of time that we cross the ball, like Saka, when he can't go beat a player and he can just take a little step to the left, he's not even picking his head up. He's literally just putting the ball in the dead spot of the goal, in the center of the goal. And all we need is someone to go finish. Like
I'm asking, like, how much are you going to pay for Ali Watkins?
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. I haven't been here Ali Watkins either because I know Aston Villa is going to want to make us pay a bag because this is the thing. 9s are
Scared.
so rare. They're scared.
Right
Like it's a rarity, right? It's a premium.
Yeah.
It's premium gas. This is diesel. Like
Yeah.
you feel me? Like
blue cheese.
this is it's cheese. You gotta whatever you want to pay for a striker is add an extra 20 to 30 mil on top just for interest. Like on any good striker, because every club knows when they have one, it's like, I bet. So if we even need to sell you, we know we're getting an extra 20 or 30 and teams know that we're in need, bro. No, you don't think Bournemouth is going to try to extort us?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to take their best player. Bournemouth is, hey, we need 65 bags, 70 bags for this man. Like, and I know they're going to try and do that. Brentford's talking 100 for Ivan Toney. Like, come on, this man that played in 6 months talking about 100 mil. What do you mean? They're saying Douglas Luiz, a midfielder, is going for 100 mil coming out of Aston Villa. And that's probably even gone up because they know we need him too. So Ali Watkins is going for at least 90.
Hey,
80,
shout out
90.
Villa. They've been doing some great business in the last couple of years.
The players that we want, like I understand maybe some of like the defenders that we want aren't at a premium, but like, bro, we we don't need that right now. Like I know we're a little stretched thin defensively, but
Yeah.
if you're telling me we can sell Kivior to another team
Damn, sell him? Sell him?
or
Already.
loan, bro,
Already.
You said
we
sell him.
need to fund our
That was
FFP
honest.
problems are serious.
You
Our
said
FFP
sell
problems
him.
are serious, and we're looking at options on how to get money to fund January. We have to buy in. Like if we don't buy in January, we're done.
No,
I
I
know
hear
we
you.
need to get Jorginho's going to be out. El Neni is one of the first ones going to be out. I've been hearing Jorginho's going to go out. But I've been here. You know what's crazy? I've been hearing a Curtis Jones shout, and I'm not even mad at it.
Oh my god.
I'm not. Yeah, it's crazy. Arteta hasn't cried
DJ?
about Curtis Jones, and as a backup, I think Curtis Jones would replace like a Smith Rowe. Honestly, like if we decide to sell Smith Rowe or something like that, like he would replace Smith Rowe. Which I'm not mad at a guy who has Prem experience, like proper Prem experience on a top team either. I'm
So you're just
young, like
exchanging one academy U for another, but one is a little bit better.
bro. Like I'm not even. Like I said, my head isn't even with like midfielders, like nor they're with
I get it.
defenders, and it sucks because we're gonna lose Tamiyasu to the Asian Cup.
Oh,
I think it's the Asian Cup. We're losing Tamiyasu for a little bit, so we're truly stressed like thin defensively. That's why I can understand us bringing in someone else. You know, Timber's still injured, Tamiyasu will be gone. Really can't trust Zinni. So Tierney's we're thinking about bringing him back from loan, which I think would be great. Like we need another.
that's a no brainer to me. That's a no
Yeah,
brainer.
like we need him, bro. I'm sorry, but defensively, like he can keep up. You know, he might not be the best playing in the middle and stuff like that, but
Cedric
he
too.
can keep
Cedric.
up.
That's all Cedric.
It's not come on. Cedric's on his way out.
Mm,
Cedric's on his way out.
That's all.
But yeah, no, man. My head is this is where like I might lose my mind with Arteta because he's so stubborn in his ways, and he's like, bro, I understand that we have some academy youths and this and the third, but bro, how can we show favor to Eddie Nketiah and not Balogun? Like, bro, like
Yeah.
we can sell Balogun in a heartbeat, but we can't go get 50 mil for Eddie Nketiah. Like,
I mean, you guys extended him. You extended him.
yeah, bro, we can't go get some bread for Eddie Nketiah. We're not even going to consider selling him because he's in your plans. And what planet is this man good enough to start in our shirt? Like, let's just be real, bro. Like, let's just be real. Like, is he going to be Arsenal's 9 moving forward? No. Like, is he ever going to start for us? No. I only want players who are ever going to potentially start for us. Like, if I'm being real, I want players who can come in, they can start if they weren't, if it wasn't somebody even better than them on the pitch. Like I said, I want 2-3 deep pause every position. Like, no, for real. Like, no, chill, pause. But like I need 2-3 players deep in every position. You're crazy. I said pause, bro.
Yeah, you did.
Nah, like I'm trying to be on some Manchester City with it. Like,
nah, I feel
that's where we need to be. And I'm sorry, but he's not good enough to start for our team. He shows me that He shows me that a lot. And I'm not going to say he hasn't done a service for us because he has. He's come in and done well for us when guys have been injured. But if a starting guy is coming in, he's not starting really ever. And if we bring in another guy like Ivan Toney, now you have just better options. Like you have Ivan Toney, now you have Eddie Nketiah, or not Eddie Nketiah, we have Gabriel Jesus and possibly Trossard if you need to throw him up here. Even if we bring in Solanke, I'm sorry, Solanke is better than Eddie Nketiah to me. Let's just keep it a buck. He's going to fit our system better than Eddie Nketiah to me. So you're on mute. You're on mute. So even if you have a Jesus and a Solanke, like that's a better combo to me. And no, I don't think we should go pay that money. But listen, if Brentford is interested in Eddie Nketiah, give him 30 mil and say what's good. We can even do a loan deal. Brentford likes us. Like, I just don't see the stubbornness, bro. That's where I'm at. Like, we have it. We can go get people. We're just deciding not to. We're deciding to sign some things that we can go worry about in the summer. And I know they say we can go probably spend more in the summer and get a bigger striker in the summer, but them strikers might not be here. Let's just keep it a buck. These strikers might not be here. Solanke might, oh, you know what? 60 mil, this club wants me, I'm gonna go over here. Osimhen, I want to go to Chelsea, 120 backs. I'm over here. Like, I don't want Vlahovic. I'm cool. We've been linked. I'm cool on him. I'm all the way good. So, like I've been saying, some of these strikers might not be here, and don't let another team come in for Ivan Toney too. Oh, Arsenal don't want me out. Bet I'm gonna go over here.
When is Tony officially back?
January like 19th or
Okay.
it's in a couple weeks or so.
So like I'm assuming he has to be like reinstated before teams can actually like.
Yeah, he probably has to pass physical and all that.
But I wonder, do you think he will make a move in January though? I just feel like him.
You talking about Tony?
I just feel like with him, I could see a move where they're just like, nah, man, like you're gonna stay here because for them, it's in their best interest to be like
to keep him
and then to be like, we'll sell you in the summer, but like you obviously got to get your stock up. I mean, I just. Do you think a team is gonna come in and pay 80 million for him right now?
I mean, my thing is, why would Brentford be interested in Nketiah if they weren't already thinking about this player's gonna go? They've already known he's been on radars. They can't stop. Come on, it's like a Declan Rice thing. It's like a Caicedo thing. It's like a McAllister thing. You're gonna some players are just outgrowing your club, and it's time to cash in. And it's like
I'm just saying,
if they can go get. For the timing, I mean, they're thinking, okay, if we're gonna have to move on with Ivan Toney anyway, let's go get the bread now. And that's what I'm saying. Why would they be interested in Eddie Nketiah if they already weren't thinking about potentially Ivan Toney leaving the door? And that's why I'm just saying, like, I know it's not as simple as like just swapping this and that and the third, but
yeah,
it's very possible, man.
Who knows? I know a lot of people. I know a few teams that could benefit from him. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Let's just do predictions real quick and get out of here.
FA Cup teams.
We may have recorded by the next time that we play, but we play next Monday. FA Cup away against Wigan at the DW Stadium. I don't even know what that is.
That's crazy. Wigan?
Yeah, Wigan. So I think I
don't even think they're in Championship, bro.
No, they're not.
They're in League One.
League One. So hopefully McTominay feels right at home.
You're crazy.
But I'm serious. I think that guy, if he wasn't on our team, I don't see him in the Premier League.
Wigan is disgusting.
I think think about this. And this is not a shout, I feel like, for me. Fact that like Ross Barkley is playing for Luton, and low-key Ross Barkley is balling this year.
Yeah, he's balling. I'm not gonna lie, he's balling out.
Ross Barkley can play for Luton. You're telling me Scott McTominay is above that? Scott McTominay is not even half the player Ross Barkley is. No.
I mean, I'm not gonna say not half the player, but I see what you're saying.
Do you think? Hold on, because Gabriel had a shout earlier. I thought Dominic Solanke. Do you think that the gap in between Dominic Solanke and Eddie Nketiah is bigger than the gap in between Scott McTominay and Ross Barkley?
Wow.
Because I think Ross Barkley is clear of Scott McTominay.
Like he's clear.
Like,
yeah, I think he's clear, bro. I mean, okay, I honestly can't even say Solanke clears Nketiah, bro.
Yeah, okay.
I can't. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I don't hate the shout because I've seen over the past couple of weeks. Like okay, you can really finish. You be in the middle of the goal. You stay between the goal posts. Like
that's different when you're doing it for a top 4 club.
Yeah, but listen. when you get signed, I'm not trying to diss them or like anything like that, but when you're on a team like Bournemouth who's in and out, championship, Premier League, like
Yeah,
you have the expectations are different, bro. When you come to a club like Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool,
yeah.
Tottenham, there are expectations. Like we're not giving you time, bro. Like we're in a win now mode, win now situation. If you're not performing, bro, we're gonna be on your head top. Like, fam, we brought you, and you know why you're here. So I don't know. I don't think he
Pause.
clears them, man.
Pause. Pause. But I think he was talking. He was talking about McTominay. McTominay did have that
Yeah, no,
that
he did
game
have that goal.
that
Yeah, he
game
put.
winner. That game winner. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man,
That was a good moment.
McTominay.
Who do y'all play though?
We have Liverpool on Sunday.
Mm.
I don't even know. I mean, I'm not gonna call it. I'm not calling it GRG, but I just think this is this is a confidence game for us. Like we need to get back in the groove, and I think it's a must win. Like for us, we have to get some type of flow back because after this match, we don't play for 13 days. So I know we have a couple guys with knocks. Like Ben White's been nursing an injury. Saka's Achilles been nursing that. Like this is 2 weeks where if we get a win against Liverpool, 2 weeks. All right, we can start this run of matches of unbeaten streak or something. Because I'm telling you, bro, we lose against Liverpool, man. It's
Slow.
looking, and I know it's not for the league, but it's looking slow. Like we see Liverpool again in another like couple weeks after we play them in the FA Cup. Like our next, we played Liverpool a couple weeks ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. We played Liverpool within like 3 times in 7 matches. Like,
Do you see him before Salah comes back?
I think we see him like I don't know when does AFCON end? It's like early February, like February 14th or something like that.
Yeah, like second week of February.
I think we play him like February 20th. So he'll probably be back. Like, and guess what? I don't know. He'll probably be back. So that means Tomiyasu will be back too, which is good because then Tomiyasu can start, and we won't have those same problems. But yeah, man. I just hope we can get a win against Liverpool, and I think it's at home too. I want to say
Yeah.
Who do y'all play, Cornelius?
I was gonna say we see Preston at home for the FA Cup on Saturday.
Preston.
Just continue. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, we've been getting some easy draws in both Carabao and FA Cup. So hope that continues. I believe we will get the win. Want to see 2 or 3 goals. I just want to continue this target practice. We should be putting goals on frame.
Preston been stinking it up too.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, but these are the games. These are the games where we'll play to their level and we'll lose. So it's at home. Hopefully, we protect the bridge. I want to see a clean sheet, to be honest.
That's fair, man. Good stuff, guys. Locks of the week. Anyone have you guys?
Oh, I didn't even think
real
about
quick.
that.
Oh,
Your locks of the week.
Let me get my lock of the week real quick.
Off the top of my head,
Arsenal, but I won't do that.
Off the top of my head, I think Cornelius probably has the best record when it comes to these picks.
3-0, baby.
I think except today, okay. Tottenham Burnley. Anybody fancying that? Tottenham at home?
Yeah, I was looking at that, but yeah, that wasn't my lock of the week.
You know what? I'm gonna roll with Tottenham this week. Richarlison has been hot, good vein of form. Richarlison, anytime to go for. That's my pick.
Okay, I'm gonna go Inter. What was it?
Wow.
Verona.
I was just looking.
Inter has Veronas. Yeah, Inter gets that dub. I need to get right.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go. Tomorrow, Barcelona versus Las Palmas.
Las Palmas. Be
I'm gonna
careful.
say Barca and over 2.5 goals or 1.5 goals.
That's
1.5
crazy.
goals?
I would actually pick Los Palmas. They're nice, bro. I know they really don't score and they really don't get scored on, but like
No, they're solid.
they're a good team, man. They play football, bro. You're moving it.
You know who's good, man? Girona beat Atletico Madrid.
I was
today.
just about to say before we ended,
Yeah,
I didn't watch the
4-3.
match today.
4-3. That was a
Just
crazy game. Back
Crazy.
and forth.
just didn't even care about Morata's hat trick. Said, "No, we at home. We gonna get this dub." And bet
Yeah, low key.
I'm gonna have to watch a few more Girona matches. I've only seen like one, and it was way early in the season. But they're tied on points with Madrid right now.
Yeah.
Both sitting at 48, and I'm like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Ivan
Crazy.
Martin, he scored in the 90th minute, 92nd minute.
Yeah,
And Morata really kept them in the match. Scored the first goal. They scored. You know, he really kept them in the match. Got them up 3-2 or 3. Got them back to 3-3 level. And
Gabriel, do you think Morata would help y'all?
no. Nope.
See, I don't know what it is about Morata, bro. I don't think he's a prem guy. I mean, he's already had our stint with us, so I could tell you from experience.
Okay.
I don't know if Morata's that cat.
I can't. That just sounds like so high risk. Like,
yeah,
I'm good, bro. Like, nah. I feel like he could easily. And I'm not even gonna say like Drew was bad for us, but like, you know, like how Drew had those rough. Like, I could just feel Morata just coming in. And just being,
it's just not worth it.
Nah, yeah, just not.
At
worth
31
it,
years
right?
old, he's really not trying to bang with.
Man. Nah, we need a young striker, bro. We need a young killer, man.
Okay.
Like, bro, I cannot get off this Ivan Toney thing, bro. If it doesn't happen, bro.
I don't know, man. I'm very curious to see if he moves in January. I feel like
it's from what I've been hearing, I think it's possible. From what I've been hearing, I think it's possible. If they want one of our strikers, we want one of y'all strikers. We in a money problem. We can give you this striker and maybe give you some bread, or even do a loan and then pay 80% of his wages for the rest of the year, and then do it in the summer for 25 bags, 25 mil, bro. I think it's possible, and this is not even just like. I want to wait to see what David Ornstein says and all that, because you know they're in Fabrizio, because they're gonna. That's right. Because you know they're gonna have the inside scoop, but I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
It's funny. I actually went to college with a kid named Preston. First time I ever heard that name. You're not wrong. Very preppy. Very preppy name.
What'd you call him? Prez?
No, we called him Preston.
Oh, Preston. Very good. All right. Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in, and as always,